It's Nick here for IntuBoxing. I'm delighted to be joined by WBA and IBO Superweight Welterweight champion Hannah Rankin. How are you, Hannah?
I'm doing really well, thanks. Great to see you.
And you. Thanks for giving us some of your time today. Obviously, you've got a big fight coming up on 13th of May against Alejandra Ayala in Scotland. You're in training camp now. How's training camp going?
Training's going really, really well. I know every single fighter probably says that. We all say the same thing, but this has been a fantastic camp. I'm feeling in great shape already, and we've still got coming up for 5 weeks to go. So to be honest, it couldn't have gone any better.
Obviously, as I say, you're taking on Alejandra Ayala. What are you sort of expecting from her on the night, and what sort of fight are you expecting?
I'm expecting an exciting fight. I think people, it's not going to be one which is going to be a slow starter anyway, for sure. She's Mexican and she's known for fast starts. I'm the same. It's women's boxing in general. I don't think we beat around the bush. I think we just get going. So, I'm expecting it to be a high intensity fight, exciting, and one that the fans are going to really enjoy.
Obviously, it was due to be at the Braehead Arena, first of all. It's now been moved to the Hydro. You must be buzzing with that.
Do you know what? Every time someone says you're headlining the Hydro, I get a stupid smile on my face and I'm just ecstatic, I'm just so happy. It's such a fantastic venue for Scotland, and it's a massive space, and I'm just so proud to be headlining there, especially as a female fighter, defending my 2 world titles and putting Scotland on the map. So yeah, really, really excited.
Yeah, it is a great venue. I've been there a couple of times myself before, and really good venue to watch the boxing in. The fight's obviously going to be shown on Fightzone. You've been with them for a little while now. How is that relationship sort of going, and what have they done for your career?
So I am so proud to be working with Fightzone and Dennis Hobson Promotions, because it's been a fantastic idea that was born out of the pandemic. We couldn't watch boxing during the pandemic, and they decided they're going to set up in the car park. We're going to showcase it on Fightzone, and people were like, "This is crazy. This idea is never going to work." And even myself, I thought that. I was like, "This is nuts." And then when I started to see what was going on and how it was doing, I thought, this is fantastic. It's a platform there for fighters, like right from the very beginning of their career, right to where I am as a world champion, to showcase what they're doing. And having TV time, airtime is just so important for a fighter to help build a fan base. For myself, it just means that there's a platform that people around the world can watch me on. My sister lives in New Zealand, so hopefully she'll be able to tune in. She tuned in for when I won the world title, so that's mad, and I've got a big fan base in America, and they'll all tune in from there. So yeah, Fightzone is a fantastic addition to what we already have with DAZN and Sky Sports. And also, it's not quite as expensive, so people can tune in. And you might see some fighters that you wouldn't normally see till maybe their 10th or 11th fight, because they're getting that platform right from the very beginning. So to be honest, it's a fantastic relationship. I'm really proud to be working with them and proud to be representing them as well.
Yeah, it is a great platform. And you said there, obviously there's fighters that you might not see normally until the 10th, 11th fight that you get to see. Obviously, you're now headlining that. If you could give them sort of one bit of advice in their careers, what would it be?
So they are so lucky to have a platform for people to see them. Like when I started out my career, that was not an option, and take that opportunity, run with it. Make sure when the camera comes to you, you've got a few things planned to say, and that people get to know a little bit about you, because the fans want to know about you as a person. They want to know what your character is. Let that shine through and be yourself, because that's probably my best bit of advice. People want to grow to like you or follow you for whatever kind of style or character that you are. You might be super mad and angry. You might be sorry, the light went off in there. You might be like Derek Chisora throwing tables at weigh-ins, or you might be pretty more chilled, a bit more like me. So, but people want to get to know you. So use the opportunities. Bloody hell, use the opportunities wisely. Sorry about this. I'm in a room with a light, so I'm just going to move around a couple of times.
That's not a problem. No, really good bit of advice that for fighters coming through. Obviously, you've still got plenty of fights left in your career, but noticed that you were up in Newcastle doing radio comms for Savannah Marshall and Herman's at the weekend. How did you find that?
Do you know what? So radio commentary is totally different from the other stuff. Like, I remember being a kid and listening to the radio and getting super excited about, all the things I was listening to with different sports. And you kind of get caught up with it in your own imagination. And working with the guys from BBC Five Live, like, it's a real skill set to be able to like describe everything that's going on, like punch by punch, and where it's landing. And I was just like, do you even breathe? Like, when I was speaking to Ronald, I was like, how do you do that? He's like, I take a really big breath at the beginning. And do you know what? It was really exciting, and a new sort of skill set that was interesting for me to learn about. I'm enjoying doing commentary, and I'm learning a lot whilst I'm doing it. And I'm surrounded by people like Steve Barnes and Ronald McIntosh and Adam Smith. You know, you can't help but learn from these people. It's what they've been doing their whole life.
Absolutely. Obviously, you saw the main event. Big win for Savannah Marshall, potentially sets up the Claressa Shields fight. Obviously, you've fought both of them. If they are both to get it on, and we're hoping obviously that they both do get in the ring, how do you see that fight going?
So I'm really excited about that fight. I think it's a massive fight for women's boxing, but particularly for the higher weights. You know, we've got Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor fighting soon down the lower weights, but I think we need some of these kind of big sort of, you know, grudge matches at the higher weight classes. And also, you know, obviously we've got big knockouts available at that kind of weight. So I want people to be tuning in to see that. And Claressa and Savannah are, well, they're like perfect dance partners. They're chalk and cheese. They're nothing like each other. They're completely different in their boxing styles, completely different in their personalities. So I think obviously the build-up's been fantastic so far, and I'm really, really hoping the fight's going to happen sooner rather than later, because I've just been waiting for it. I still have Claressa winning this one for me, but you know, I see her ahead by halfway. It'll be the second half of the fight where she's got to watch out with Savannah, and you know, Savannah not to walk on something, a big shot from Savannah when she get a distance and a range. So yeah, it's like they said, it's a puncher versus boxer. So, you know, I'm quite excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, very, very much looking forward to it myself. I can't wait. Hopefully we get an announcement very soon. You mentioned there as well, Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, another massive fight for boxing. Again, can we get your thoughts on that and how you see that one playing out?
So I'm really excited about that fight. Just because I'm a total geek, but I'm just super excited. And also, you know, Katie Taylor's done incredible things for women's boxing. Amanda Serrano is 7-weight world champion. You know, they're not like small accolades, really, the pair of them have, and they're bringing huge amounts of talent to the table. I think it's a fight that we've all been waiting for. And personally, like I said, I think it'll be a similar situation. I think Katie will be ahead on the scorecards halfway. But I do think maybe this time Amanda might go away with the win. You know, she's pretty solid. She's a southpaw. There's a little bit of a change up there. It's a bit, you know, a different thing for Katie to look at. And that's not me saying that I don't like Katie Taylor. I'm a massive fan of hers. And you've got to be, as a female fighter, you've got to respect what she's done. But for me, I think Amanda's going to take this one. But it's exciting. And, you know, like, you know, a punch can change everything in a fight. So I'm quite excited.
Yeah, two massive fights there, and obviously you've got a massive fight yourself. So final word to you, Hannah. What can fans expect from you on May the 13th? And yeah, and just as I say, a final word for your fans.
So firstly, massive thank you to everybody for your support. It is so needed for all fighters to have support, and it just makes you feel $1 million when you get in the ring, when you hear all those voices in the arena shouting out. You know, that just makes it big for everybody. So a massive thank you there. Tune in. If you're not going to be able to come to the fight at the Hydro, tune in on Fightzone. It's going to be absolutely rocking in there. There's a huge undercard, and I'm going to be topping the bill against Alejandra Ayala, and we're going to put on a show for you all. So make sure you tune in.
Super. Well, Hannah Rankin, thank you very much for giving IntuBoxing some of your time, and we'll catch up with you very soon.
Thank you.